There she is, hiding from your public.
Just admiring the view. You've outdone yourself with this party, Jack.
We have. It's all for us, darling. For our future.
1 year ago, we made history. I believed in a vision that was bigger, bolder. Through late nights and relentless pursuit, I persevered. I built a team that shared that vision. There you are. You've been quiet all night. Everything okay?
Just tired. It's been a long night. No. Your speech sounded like a eulogy for everything I built.
I know. It's a lot. But this is just the beginning, Em. The real ride starts now. I'm gonna close the deal with the Koreans. Don't wait up.
He left her with the city, the cold glass, and a sentence that sounded too much like a dismissal. Three words changed the room. E-read. Disvestment. Finalization. Close it, and I can pretend one more night. Open it, and nothing goes back.
The Koreans are locked in. Em? You're still up? I told you not to wait.
I saw an email, Jack. From Mark.
You shouldn't have gone through my things.
That's your takeaway? Not sorry? Not explanation? Privacy?
Those are sensitive legal documents. It's complicated. You're emotional. Let's talk in the morning when you've calmed down.
Calm down? You're planning to divest me from my own company. You put a price on my work. You called me replaceable.
Be reasonable. This isn't personal. It's business. The company has outgrown the two founders' story. The market wants a single face, a strong leader.
Your brand, built on my work. Neural Weave was my all-nighter. Symphatic Link was my breakthrough. You're not consolidating anything. You're stealing it.
You're a brilliant coder, Emma. I've never denied that. But a company needs a leader, a story. I'm that story. You think the world would have cared about your code if I hadn't sold the vision? Take the deal. It's generous. You'll be set for life. You can code whatever you want in your little home office. No more pressure. It's a win-win.
Get out.
This is my home.
Get out before I do something we'll both regret. Lena, Jack,
Emma, breathe. Where are you?
At the penthouse. But I can't stay. I found emails. He's trying to force me out of Cinefox. He's claiming my work. He planned all of it.
He did what? That son of a bitch.
Listen to me. Get out of there now. Don't take anything you don't absolutely need. Do you have your passport?
I have a bag, some cash.
Good. Get a taxi. Don't use your corporate account. Pay cash. Come to my place. Text me when you're in the cab. I'm sending the address now.
Lena, I'm sorry. It's the middle of the night.
Stop. This is what friends are for, and this is what I do. We're not letting him get away with this. I'll put the coffee on.
Start from the beginning. Show me everything. He's thorough, I'll give him that. It's a classic squeeze out. Dilute your role, co-opt your IP, hit you with a lowball offer when you're vulnerable, silence you with an NDA. He's probably already moving to lock you out of systems and freeze assets. First, we secure your digital footprint right now. If he thinks you've seen this, he'll try to lock you out of everything. Code registrations, design servers, your work email. We move first. My credentials should still work. It's done. Good. Now he can't erase you. That is your leverage. That is your truth. He moved fast. Right on schedule. He's trying to shock and awe you, make you panic, make you sign. He's doing a good job. Look at me, Emma. He has IT, he has the board for now, he has operational control, but he does not have the law, and he does not have the truth. Those early commits are your fingerprints all over the crime scene. He can lock you out of the building, he can't lock you out of your own genius. This is the first salve. Now we return fire. Silence first. We do not answer his lawyer yet. Then we build the case. Timeline. Every time he downplayed your role, every witness, every lie. He thinks he took away my power. The key card, the server access, the toys. Exactly. He's playing CEO. You're the one who built the playground. You still have the blueprints. Fear didn't vanish. It condensed into strategy. We have the code. That's our nuclear option. Now we build everything around it so tight his lawyers beg him to settle. First, the PI, I know someone discreet. We need to know what Jack's doing with the board and the money. Second, witnesses. Who else has he taken credit from? Who else did he bury? Liam. Early days. Brilliant. Quiet. He built a core optimization for the data stream. Jack presented it as his own brainstorm to the board. Liam left a few months later. Good. We'll find him. Now I need everything. Every speech, every article, every press release where your name vanished. Dates, quotes, links. Be meticulous. Mark, Lena Chen. I'm representing Emma Reed. We will not be responding to your offer.
Yeah.
It's not a starting point, it's an insult. My client is pursuing all available legal adiums for intellectual property thief, breach of fiduciary duty, and fraudulent misrepresentation. Advise your client to reconsider his position. My mom's house. What about it? In the garage days, I made weekly backups. One drive I kept, one I gave my mother, off-site storage, a joke at the time. Honey. Mom, do you remember that hard drive I gave you a few years ago? The big silver one? The one you called your baby? Den desk drawer, I think, with the photo albums. Emma, what's going on? Before the interviews, before the board rops, before he learned how to tell my story as his. Mom, I think I need to tell you what's been happening. I found the email last night, didn't want me to see. They froze everything.
I never trusted that man's smile. It never quite reached his eyes. But you, my brilliant girl, you built it all once. You can build it again, whatever it is this time.
It arrived by courier. Formal offer from the board of directors. They're not even trying to be subtle, it's a pressure play. They think you're emotional, isolated, and running out of money. They think this will look like a lifeline.
He's getting nervous. This isn't confidence. This is someone trying to end it before I find my footing, before I hit back properly.
Exactly. Jax had 3 emergency board calls in 48 hours. Your silence is unnerving him. He expected tears, pleading, a public mess. He didn't expect this. What's our response? No response. We let their deadline rot. Meanwhile, we escalate. We have the hard drive. We have Liam's testimony. We have the timeline. What's the next move? We file. Not with a letter, with a lawsuit. Intellectual property theft, breach of fiduciary duty, fraudulence, misrepresentation. We make it public.
Good. Let's file.
Ready? Yes. They're trying to gaslight the public. They want you unstable, unreliable. They can't dispute the code, so they're attacking the coder. It's working.
My focus remains the team and the mission.
He's erasing me in real time. He's trying.
You're forgetting something. You have a story too. A better one. It's just trapped inside you. An interview? Lena, I'm not him. I can't perform. You don't have to perform. You have to be you. Claire Yoon from Tech Death wants you. She's rigorous, fair, and she hates bullshit.
He's making it so no one will ever believe me.
He's making it so you have to speak. Silence is consent to his narrative. Claire's audience matters. Investors, engineers, people who understand what code means. Set up the interview. Good. Then we stop letting them write you. Today I'm speaking with Emma Reed, co-founder and former CTO of Synapse, now at the center of one of tech's most contentious legal battles. Emma, thank you for coming. Thank you for having me. Your lawsuit alleges your husband and co-founder systematically your role, claimed your intellectual property, and pushed you out. What's the core of your evidence? The core is the code itself and the timeline. I have original backups, time-stacked from years before Synapse was a neural weave and dynaptic link. The comments show sole authorship. They show the evolution from prototype to working model. You can't fake that. Tech them a red, tech your least or feither in your vaftas wesk and prevent of challenges, the stow broked as manily inudable and disperation. The only contrived to the come of you it is winnard. Jack Morgan's team says these were collaborative efforts, that his vision and leadership drove the company and your contributions were part of a team. How do you respond? A vision is nothing without execution. An idea for a canal is just a drawing until someone engineers it and digs it. The evidence is in the comment spec. My name is Ovasian couldn't still work the soul in tis teenerifiv came much later when my public role was deliberately minimized. The word that stayed with me wasn't devosement or NDA. It was replaceable. It's one thing to fall out of love. It's another to be told the thing you brought, your mind, your creativity, is disposable. What are you hoping to achieve with this lawsuit? Money? Revenge? Before in the outer? Ownership of my work. Ownership of my story. And maybe, for the next brilliant young woman in a garage with a partner who talks a better game than he codes, a precedent. Your ideas have value. Your work has your name on it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The tide didn't turn all at once, but the current shifted.
Remember, you're the expert in this room, on the technology, on the facts of your own life. They'll try to rattle you. Don't let them.
Ms. Reed, let's start with the early days of Synapse. Would you agree the environment was highly collaborative, a true partnership of minds?
Collaboration implies mutual contribution of ideas at a similar level. My role was architect and engineer. Jack's was business development and strategy. They are different skill sets. I would not describe the core algorithm development as collaborative in the way you imply. I designed and built it.
You missed key meetings, did you not?
I was leading the engineering team and developing the core technology. My absence from a marketing presentation does not diminish my foundational role.
Would it be fair to say your media activity was part of a public smear campaign against my client?
Objection, argumentative. I did not speak to the media for weeks. Mr. Morgan and his team controlled the narrative while my character was publicly attacked. I gave one interview to present factual evidence after my reputation had already been assaulted.
This so-called smoking gun. You expect the court to believe you just happened to find this ancient hard drive at your mother's house conveniently after litigation began?
Timestamps are embedded in the file system metadata. They are not easily forged without leaving a digital footprint a qualified expert can examine. I invite your experts to examine it. The drive isn't convenient. It's evidentially. It exists because I was diligent, not because I am litigious.
Isn't it true, Ms. Reed, that this entire case stems from a personal betrayal? That this is at heart not a business dispute, but the vengeful act of a scorned woman?
The personal betrayal, the business theft. I discovered the plan to divest me after I just planned to erase my contributions. He chose to break both. Who are linked him here today to address was both professional breach. The personal one is no longer any of your business. We have him. Who? Liam, the junior developer. My investigator found him in Oregon. He agreed to a video call. He's waiting now. Thank you for doing this. I should have reached out back then. I saw what happened. I'm sorry I didn't say anything.
It wasn't your fault. He was the CEO. It was his word against mine. When I heard about your lawsuit, I wasn't surprised. What he did to me was a smaller version of what he's doing to you. The pattern is the same. He called it Morgan's maximization. He didn't even look at me. When I tried to correct a project manager later, HR told me not to disrupt team collision and to respect the chain of command. I have the original design documents, dated, and I kept a secret recording of a one-on-one with Jack after I confronted him.
You recorded him?
On the recording, he tells me individual contributions get absorbed into the greater whole. He says my career would benefit from being a team player, not a grandstander.
He was just a kid, and I let it happen. I was so wrapped up in my own work and my belief in Jack. I enabled that culture. You were a victim of it too. You just didn't know it yet. Now you do. And now we use his story to make sure it doesn't happen again. These are our conditions for settlement. They are not open for negotiation.
Public acknowledgement of Emma as sole inventor, resignation as CEO and board member, controlling interest to Emma, financial settlement, mutual permanent NDA on personal matters.
This is outrageous. It's a corporate coup. My client will...
He will, because if this goes to trial next week, we enter Liam's testimony and the recording into evidence. We show the world a pattern, not one email, predatory behavior, theft dressed up as leadership. He can leave as the man who stepped aside for the true genius, or he can be exposed as a fraud who destroyed his own company in court. This is his only chance to keep a shred of reputation. This is the price of what you stole.
Jack. Enough. It's over.
I hadn't just won. I had taken back my kingdom. The hum of 1,000 voices used to sound like danger. Now it sounded like background noise before work. Ready? It's time. For a long time, I believed the most important code I would ever write was the kind that powered an algorithm, the kind that could process data, predict patterns, and build fortunes. I was wrong. The most important code we write is the one for our own lives, the code of our integrity, our values, our boundaries. For too long, mine had a critical bug. It was programmed to trust another person's compiler over my own. If you don't own your source code, the essence of your ideas and your worth, someone else will. And they will refract it, rename it, and repackage it until even you start to doubt you were ever the original author. But a bug, once you find it, can be fixed. You can patch it, rewrite the faulty logic, compile a stronger version of yourself. The next frontier of technology isn't just faster processors or smarter AI, it's building systems with integrity code into their foundation. It's creating companies where credit is given, ideas are protected, and no one is ever made to feel replaceable. Because a single line of code written with integrity is more powerful than an entire operating system built on a lie. That's why, effective today, I am stepping down as chair of the Synapse board to focus full-time on the Reed Foundation. My work there is done. My work here, with all of you, is just beginning. I never went back to the Cynic's Tower as its leader. The foundation became my real headquarters. I was no longer a co-founder, no longer a wife, no longer a victim. I am Emma Reed, architect, builder, author of my own source code. For the first time since the garage, my future was entirely my own to compile.